Welcome to the family with
Tevin Pittman,
co-host Catherine Brandt,
Andy Rappernard,
and Mike Bryant.
We'll be right back. I'm looking forward to this because I missed her on the KQ Morning Show. I was out that day. Karen Knotts, Don Knotts' daughter, Karen Knotts, will join us. Kostaki's on the second hour. We'll be right back with the family.
Beep.
No?
You want to do a live spot?
Sure.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw, and Bryant.
So we got people going way fast out there on the roads. We got people on cell phones on the roads. We got people taking risks out on the roads, and that's what leads to people calling us. If you're in a collision, if you have an adjuster calling you, it's best to give us a call and find out what your rights are and what can be done for you. It's the whole deal.
I'm not doing it. I'm not saying Walser Automotive. Walser, I'm not doing it. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw, and Bryant.
Walter.com.
I knew he'd do it.
Tommy, how long have you been at KQ?
36 years now.
Wow, that's loyalty.
Well, if I'm completely honest, it isn't the company that I'm loyal to, it's the listeners. I figured out a long time ago they're the only reason I have a job. Why are you asking?
Well, we had another great month at Coon Rapids Nissan and Burnsville Nissan. In fact, Burnsville continues to be the #1 Nissan store in Minnesota.
The loyalty part. Get to the loyalty part.
Oh, yeah. This month, if you buy or lease a new Rogue or a Pathfinder from us, we'll give you an extra $500 off as long as you own or are leasing a Nissan.
That is cool. Do they have to trade it?
Nope, it's just a reward for being loyal. By the way, the new Pathfinder's fantastic. It's got a 9-speed transmission, and JLo says it'll practically pull the building. We also cut a deal with our good buddy Charlie Swenson, who's running a Nissan store in Chicago. He gave us some extra Rogues.
Because Charlie's such a nice guy?
Well, Paul might have threatened him.
Sounds like Paul.
For details, go to Walser Nissan or Coon Rapids Nissan and claim your loyalty gift. Tommy, give him some Elvis loyalty.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There are definitely things to avoid during a Minnesota winter, like licking a flagpole or waiting too long to replace that car battery. But #1 on the list is taking a chance on your furnace. Hey, Tom here for Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, reminding you that a furnace clean and tune will improve efficiency, reliability, and peace of mind. Or maybe it's time to take advantage of Sabre's rebates and upgrade to an energy-efficient Bryant system. Don't take chances on your comfort. Visit SaberHeating.com. Sabre and Bryant. Whatever it takes.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
You on Tinder?
Yes, we are.
Oh, no. Scroll through Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not Tinder.
Instagram.
I thought you were swiping left and right over there.
Oh, no.
You were like, what was the third baseman for the Red Sox who went to the bathroom and he was on Tinder the whole time?
Oh, really?
Yes. What's the hell? The Big Panda. He plays for the Giants.
Oh, like Sandoval?
Sandoval.
Or whatever,
Yep. Sandoval. Yep. Yeah, some fan was like, he's on Tinder.
Were you on Tinder?
No, I was not on.
Were you yelling about the game yesterday? Your voice seemed a little raspy.
So I DJ'd like a Vikings watch party, and as like they're about to kick the field goal, I was like, I've got the little skull chant queued up. We're about to celebrate this victory, and obviously not.
You needed Paul Allen.
He was like, the kick's good.
And then it's like, it wasn't.
Not so good. The wrong team is celebrating.
He didn't say the kick is good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, he did. Yeah.
It didn't even come close, I thought. I didn't watch the game.
It was relatively close.
But when you look at the kicker, he knew it was off as soon as it went off his foot.
And I was listening to him on the way in, and he was like, yeah, I guessed. He's like, I just had a bad, he's like, I didn't have a bad angle. He's like, I just figured it was going to make this essentially a gimme of a kick. And
I like Paul Allen, but that's a lame-ass excuse.
Yeah, he was.
I thought it. Come on, Paul.
I just guessed.
Yeah.
So, Paul's a good guy. I haven't seen him in a while now. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, but I've always gotten along well with Paul Allen.
Yeah.
You'll hear him before you see him.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Has he tickled your sides or pinched your sides, whatever he's notorious for?
You don't touch me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
There'll be none of that.
No.
None of that touching. There's a woman at the other end of the table can touch me and 2 kids, but that's about it.
Come on, you've been cupped many times at public appearances.
No, that's right. Well, that's true. She's not making that up.
Oh, my God.
Let's take a picture and they reach over and grab your package. It's like, that's great, wonderful.
Yikes.
You know what? On the
The
boat,
glamour
Didn't
of
happen on the boat.
celebrity.
I had a big bodyguard on the boat, so that never happened.
Nobody
on the boat.
touched him on the boat.
His lawyer with
You should wear a
at the ready.
spiky cod piece.
Yeah, I should.
Okay.
Can you imagine like rock stars or big
God, I
singers?
can't even-
How many times they get physically molested when they're taking a picture?
Oh, that's probably give and take situation.
Do they do more of the touching or do they get touched?
That's where. What's that guy's name? That puke that rapes every person he comes near. What's his name?
That
again?
rapes every
So
person.
you have to be more specific.
Yeah,
Sadly.
God, he
Genghis
just-
Khan?
Yes, Genghis Khan. No, what the hell? What's his? I believe I can fly. That guy.
Oh, R.
believe I-
Kelly.
R. Kelly.
Okay.
Why don't you fill up a few more people there, R?
That was one of the earliest one of those scandals I can remember.
Because did he
was
like
R.
pee
Kelly.
on? He peed on
That's
somebody.
allegedly. I don't know if that's
That
actually
was, like,
true
his
or not.
thing.
But yeah,
Pee
that's
on
what-
people?
Well, it was like he peed on like a 17-year-old or
Yeah.
something like
And then
that.
he like catfished
I think it was on video.
people, and it was a whole
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, Catherine and I were just talking about this yesterday. The subject just came up because some on television. I don't understand that whole I'm overpowering you, so that's very sexual. It's like, how is sex any fun unless the other person's enjoying it? I don't get that.
It's not a pleasure thing.
It's a power thing.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
all
absolutely
about
power.
Sociopathy.
It's,
One of
it's
these days
control
you'll
and it's
understand
power and then when you mix in a whole bunch of issues concerning their own beliefs about what they are versus what they're not and what happened to them as kids,
Yeah.
it's a complicated mess.
Well, that's why I hope that Karen Knotts does join us, because her father and I went through the same damn thing with their fathers.
She has the flu.
Oh,
No! I
That's not
love
good.
Karen Knotts. So she's
Sorry
not
to
going
hear
to be
that.
on, or is she going to be on coughing?
Although
People have the flu again?
Dumb!
I was just gonna say this is the first person I've ever heard of having
like,
the flu.
it's been
since
2 years
COVID has
since I've
started.
heard
This
anyone
is the
have
first
the
flu
flu.
case we've
Yeah,
had.
that's true. That is
Amazing.
true.
No,
there's all
my
kinds of stuff
Melissa's
going around.
dad and his wife had the flu last year.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh God, we have COVID," and they got tested, and they're like, "Nope, just the flu."
I don't
Well,
know-
what's
I don't know
happening is
anybody.
with all the kids going back to school that haven't been exposed to anything, people are getting everything.
Everybody that I know has had a kid with RSV in the last 2 weeks.
Yep,
What's
I know somebody's.
RSV?
Yep,
It's like a respiratory infection.
it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can get really bad.
Yeah.
It can turn into pneumonia pretty easily.
Yeah, it's bad.
I have a question for you guys, because I was just looking for some news stories and all the rest of it. Is there a politician in America whose approval rating has risen in the
No,
past
I don't think
2
so.
years? I don't think so.
I think politicians are doing their best to become yesteryear's used car salesmen.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it. Right.
I feel like
I would say Crenshaw's one of them. The guy with
Crenshaw?
the guy with the eye patch in Texas.
Oh, him. Yeah, Dan
Eye patch?
Crenshaw.
yeah,
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
put that
Love
eye
a
patch
politician
on.
with an eye patch.
Yeah,
Once
I
he
think
got
it's
that eye
I think
patch,
it's
people-
Crenshaw. I would
I
put
think it
him
is
in
Dan
that
Crenshaw,
category. I think what's his name?
His name is Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah,
yes.
Dan Crenshaw. Mayor Pete. I think Mayor Pete's approval's gone up overall.
Buttigieg?
Yeah.
No.
I think he has. Yeah.
No.
No,
Not-
nobody likes him.
You know, a lot of people like him.
Like who?
I mean, you consider he was a
Like
mayor.
you?
Well, I mean, you consider he's a mayor and how far he's come. He's heading the department now. I mean, I think his approval rating's gone up overall.
But
in
look who
comparison.
shows them. I mean, that's going to qualify.
Well, You know,
I don't like any of these people.
I know,
I'm
I understand
Democrat,
that, but I'm just
Republican.
kind of thinking through a group of people. There are a group of people that I think
there?
have gone up in some amount.
I feel
the
like
state of-
Ron DeSantis. Is he people?
A number of people.
He's
I don't know.
controversial.
He's very controversial.
But I
So
feel
I
like
think
more
it's
people-
one way or the
yeah, I
other.
suppose.
You know, I
I
mean,
feel like more
you
people
could put
like him than-
Green in there. She's gone both ways. The lady from Colorado, the congresswoman from Colorado.
yeah.
You know, they've gone both ways. There's some people they've gone up with, and some people,
Yeah.
It's
The only thing
some-
about the approval ratings is that they're not official.
No.
It's
No.
like, depending on which pollster you ask, you're going to
Yeah.
get wildly different answers. So it's like, how do you even know if someone's actually getting more approval or not? You don't.
You
really.
don't.
And who votes on these? Have you guys filled out? Are you guys pollsters, as they say?
I've
never been polled
I
once.
get called on occasion. I mean, they're usually push polls, but I get
Okay.
called on occasion.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I don't ever.
They ask if I know of anybody that's in the media, and then it's like throw this in the garbage if you do.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess.
Indeed. It's all true. Mayor Fry, his poll numbers are down. The Minneapolis City
He's
Council,
getting
they're-
hammered in a lot of different ways.
He's getting, and he should be. He should be getting hammered.
Yeah, but the problem is who's going to take his place?
Oh, yeah, really.
Yeah.
Somebody
even
worse?
We could get a Muppet.
We never get anybody
About
better.
the same size.
Muppet.
Well, he's a little fella. I didn't know he was that small.
He's not that little.
He's about 3
Like you can put him in your
He's
pocket.
Tom
I put him
Thumb.
in that okay, little cute bear over here in my pocket.
Yeah.
Well, he's a handsome devil. You can't take that away from him, you know. But his approval rating sucks. Minneapolis City Council's approval rating sucks. Tim
Nothing
Walz's approval
changes.
rating sucks. They all
Nothing's
do.
going to change,
And
though.
it's,
Yeah,
I
Tim
would be
Walz is-
shocked if they could have had their approval rating like go up
Yeah,
after
for
the
real.
Yeah, that's
past
true.
2 years we've been through. So.
That's true.
Yeah, because there's not, you can't.
No.
Handled
Make
worse than any
anybody
other city in
happy.
the universe.
Well, Portland and Minneapolis got to be shoulder to shoulder.
Portland's pretty bad.
Really,
Minneapolis,
really
we've had a
hoping
tough
for
year.
that
Portland, hold
Vikings
my beer.
win. We needed Minnesota needed something
Yeah, Kevin.
good.
Don't blame me. I didn't kick the ball.
you.
Why
I didn't
couldn't
kick the
they have
ball.
won the stupid
I tried.
The
game?
prediction was they were going to get killed.
Oh,
though.
yeah, I thought we were
And
gonna get
killed.
Played
Yeah, that's
a
true,
good,
yeah.
They played a good game. There were
Yeah.
a lot of good things that came out of that game yesterday.
Yep.
You know?
But Arizona sucked
So-
that
Could've
whole
used
game.
it.
They were
Could've
not.
used
No, Arizona a couple of times had some. Their offense at times was really good. Their
Yeah.
defense is what let them down.
Yeah, their defense.
You know, and plus that coach looks like he's always going out on a bender. I don't know why. He just has this look of I'm about to head out on a bender right now. I'm about to head out to the beach and not worry about
Yeah,
this.
well, because like during the draft, like his house is immaculate. Like he.
Oh
was,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
They had like
yeah.
the in draft whatever shots of his house, and everybody was like, "Yeah, I want to move into Cliff Kingsbury's house."
Okay, so what are you doing? Looking in the window? What the hell?
No, it was on
No,
TV.
it was like because it was
No,
back during the
it was
pandemic.
Clearly,
pandemic.
Tom doesn't listen
I'm
to what
in
you
the
say.
I was
I
in the
did.
bushes outside, but that's not the point. It was on ESPN.
One of the greatest happinesses of my life is I've been torturing Tevin for 6-7 years now.
I know,
does make
but I
him
keep
happy.
coming back.
That
I'm
is
a
a
glutton
joy.
for
Keep
punishment.
coming back, keep storming back.
Yeah, you might want to talk about this with your therapist.
I'm gonna have to talk to my manager. Yeah.
How old is the coach of the Dolphins? Have you seen that guy? I don't
Is
even
it
know who it is.
Flores? Is he still?
Yes,
no.
it is. It's Brian Flores.
Flores?
How
Man,
old is
he
he?
looks like he's like 14.
He
Yeah,
is
I mean-
40.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just
Well, he's only
looks,
40,
man, holy
yeah.
moly, he looks. They showed him on the sidelines, and
Is he
as he
a
was watching those
small
interceptions
guy?
yesterday.
No, he's black, and black people don't age.
Yeah.
So,
Ah,
that's true. Black don't.
well
crack.
done.
Black don't. crack.
Well, you're only 16. You look
Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
No.
Okay. I thought we were getting ready for a
Kevin's
compliment. I should have known
72.
better. I should have known better.
Tevin's 72. You
Yeah.
didn't know
Hey,
that?
72 years old.
You do look good for your age.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I gotta tell you.
So that's
72.
the nicest thing that's ever been said to me.
I gotta run something by everybody at the table here, and I'm glad you showed up today because it's a good thing you're here.
Yep.
But I just we had Craig Gass was on the show all morning. He was on for 3
Oh
hours
my
this
gosh,
morning,
I
7 to
heard
10.
it, and you guys talking about cops, those stories were so funny.
Oh my God, those stories! Did you ever hear that story about the one that I passed on? So I'm watching Cops. By the way, is coming back to
Oh, the
Fox
show.
something.
Cops, the
Fox
TV show.
Nation or one
Bad
of those.
boys, bad
it coming
boys.
back?
What you gonna
Yeah, they're
do?
bringing it back. Yeah, it's on a Fox affiliate, but I
I'm
don't know
sure
which one.
there's a lot of stuff out there to use.
Oh yeah.
It's a Fox streaming service.
Oh, it's so it's
The
Fox
only
Nation.
thing is when you watch some of those,
Sure.
there's a lot of constitutional violations going on.
I bet you're
I thought,
right.
yeah, I thought the whole BLM movement canceled it.
Yeah, there was a big like, hey, this is just seems like rounding up black people and making a show out
Well,
of it.
stop committing crime.
That's. Well,
Whoa!
I feel like
I
you
mean,
used to-
I'm not getting
I
rounded
mean-
up.
You used to watch a ton of Cops
Yeah,
when we
I
were
love
kids, and I feel like
Cops.
most of the time it was like meth head white people.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a whole
Like
group
I
of
felt
meth
like
white
it was a
people.
lot
Yep.
of meth head white people.
No,
I remember
so-
way
I think
more
the
meth head
white
people.
people
And-
movement also canceled
And
it.
there's probably better things to worry about than like the TV show Cops. As like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
You
real.
think?
yeah.
My
So-
favorite
You would
was
think.
that Donka Dubal's woman.
Oh, yeah,
But Donka Dubal.
My God.
She was black.
You fine.
You fine.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't think there was a white person
I
named
don't know if she was
Duncan
a
Duval.
hooker.
What was Donka Dubal?
She said
She was drunk.
She was
Oh,
super
and if you can
drunk.
find that audio, my
my
God.
God.
She was drunk and got
She
pulled
was-
over for drunk driving.
She was really, really wasted.
She was.
She was flirting with
Here
the
she
cow.
is. Here she is.
Was that English? Wow. What's your date of birth, dear?
52366.
And you have a phone number.
52366.
Same phone number.
That's your date of birth. What's your phone number? Focus.
23.
Phone number.
52366.
Okay. Any idea where you're at? What time it is? Anything?
You so
Well, you are a friendly girl, aren't you?
Wow, you're a friendly girl.
Hold on, don't fall, don't touch anything, and don't puke.
Ooh.
Dunga do ball.
Honestly, just put her in the car.
What she was trying to say, I have no idea.
523-66.
523-66. My phone number is my birthday.
I know. So the cop was actually being, he was being great, and she was like,
He
"You
said, "Don't
fine,"
puke.
just kissing at him.
Yeah,
and
she was
stuff.
like getting all.
She was just very, very drunk.
He said,
is all.
don't touch anything and don't puke.
Don't
And
do
don't
all.
That's all I
Please
want.
don't puke.
I love that.
But that's why they put those Indians in the trunk. Remember when
So
the
they
cops,
wouldn't- 'cause you
so they
throw-
didn't
oh,
want to
yeah.
puke in the car.
That was-
The cops, that was their good idea. Let's put them in the trunk.
That was, what's his name?
What's that?
Who the hell was that again that put him in? I knew the guy that put him in the
You knew
trunk.
the cop that did it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Was that in
I didn't-
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who the hell was that did that again? No, never mind.
I don't know which cop it
Can't
was.
they
Okay, so-
make some sort of barf mask for people that
They
are
do have-
clearly
they all
gonna?
require-
Sounds horrible.
Sticks right
They
right
do
by
have a
your
bar.
Oh, I'm
face.
sorry. If you're that drunk, you're going to heave in my car. I'd
also,
rather have you have some sort of bag
The
thing.
cop's not cleaning up his own car.
Oh, yes, they do.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
Officer did
Oh, they
was
have to clean
It's
their
their
car.
car.
He said
Yeah,
that
they
he's
don't
had
have a
to
detail
spray
service.
down.
Well, how do they not? All the money that they get paid, they can't fit a detail service.
Mr. Car Wash. should
Yeah,
do it.
I would. You know what?
It depends on the
Clean.
precinct. Not every precinct has the money to go to a
Yeah.
car wash
I'm
every
very
day.
pro cops detailing their own, or not detailing.
Yeah, for real. You know,
You want somebody else to do it?
They should
Also-
have a stipend.
Wait,
There
do
is-
you know the odds on the person that's doing it?
Nothing
That
grosser
they're
than
low
picking
income.
up somebody
Well,
else's
okay,
puke.
but also then if I'm a police officer, I'm not putting any drunk people in the back of my. You're not.
No.
If I have to,
No.
if
Yeah,
this
call
is
an
like
ambulance.
Uber,
Let
yeah,
them
End up in
deal
the
with it.
trunk.
Yeah, no.
That was the idea. That was their grand idea.
just a
my
plexiglass
God.
cube that
And
they
I'm
trail
trying.
behind the
I
car.
remember one time
Trailer.
I had a bunch of
Somebody's still got
friends
to clean
over
that cube out.
for a little party,
Much easier though.
and Vicki Harris, who's no longer with us, rest in peace, Vicki. She said, "I'm probably going to puke on the way home."
No.
And she's like, "Can I get a bag?
then.
I need a bag." Well, she wasn't driving, first of all.
Oh, good.
So I found.
hope.
So after the party, I had an empty Doritos bag.
She knew ahead of time that she was gonna puke.
Yes, she's like,
Okay,
I'm most likely going to throw up on the way home.
I'm like, well,
she
you're
made
most
it out.
likely walking
She
home.
made it out
you
between
can.
our front door and the driveway and puked in our bushes.
There
Well,
you
There you
go.
go.
There you go.
Oh my god.
So I mean, she would have used the Doritos
I've-
bag if she had to. Why
I've
not?
thrown up in a lot of cars in my life, but
Yes,
never
you
because I was
certainly
drunk.
have.
It's just because I get really bad motion
Yeah,
sickness.
me
So I
too.
always have like, okay, what could I
Yes.
throw up in if I need to, if I'm ever the passenger in a car?
Scoping out possible
Pretty
areas
much.
to.
Yep.
During rush in college, you figured out a way you could puke so you could drink more.
Yeah, oh god.
That was
Indeed.
not a. that was only
what?
something a young
Right.
teenager could do.
If you're drinking to the point of puking, you want to
Oh, no, it's
drink
puke and-
more
right,
after
puke
you
and
puke?
rally.
How do you-
Puke and rally. That
That's
was
what
the
it is,
idea.
I could never do that.
Oh, I
I'd
talked
end
to a
up
friend
the
in
hospital
college.
dead.
Yeah, I was like, how do you get to the point where you're like, I would get sick, and she's like, oh, you just drink through it. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I've
drink
never
in
been
the
able to
morning
do that.
get through it. That's another.
Yeah, hair of the dog.
No,
Hair
can't
of
do
the
that
dog.
either. No.
No, the only time I thought about puking like on purpose was during like 5 a.m. conditioning in football. And I saw like my friend puke, and he kept running afterwards, and I was like, "Do you breathe better after you puke? Because I'm dying over here, and I would love to not feel like
There's
that."
runners that do all sorts of get rid of all sorts of excrement.
Yeah.
Excrement.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
long
I hate
distance
that
runners
word.
they're different.
Yeah.
All right, I got to tell you my cop story.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's
where it
right.
started.
We digressed.
Craig's were really
Craig
funny
Gass,
too.
yeah, he
Oh
was
my
very, very
God. And
funny,
his
but-
impressions of the people were just like, he can tell a story.
He can tell
His
it.
impressions are amazing
And
too.
the way he tells the
Unbelievable.
story, I'm like, I feel like I'm
Why isn't he
there.
in here today?
Wait, we could have him. He's with Duff McKagan. They're doing a podcast right now.
Over at Acme.
No, it's at New Hope Cinema Grill, I think.
Oh, okay.
Duff McKagan's with Guns N' Roses.
Oh,
They're
that's
in
right. He
town
goes there.
tomorrow
that's
night.
right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Tomorrow night. So in any
Your
case,
cop story.
he asked me about watching Cops because I loved that show back in the day, and I said, "Oh, as a matter of fact, Steve Lemmy, the two guys from Tacoma FD were on at the same time, and they're talking about cop stories and firefighter stories." And I said, "My favorite Cops episode of all time was a cops get called at his trailer park." because the guy and his wife are they're not slugging it out, but they're getting physical with one another and blah, blah, blah. So the cops get there, and the woman's already outside, and she is just hitting the heaters like a mad. She's like, blah, blah, blah. She's like 27, looks like she's 72.
Ooh.
Big time boozer, rail thin, one of those people. And the cop goes, "Oh, okay, ma'am, so what's going on?" And he goes, "Oh, ma'am, why you call me man? You know, you've been here before." She goes, "Why you call me ma'am? You've been here before, right?"
We're old
So
friends.
he's talking to her, and all of a sudden the door to the trailer opens, and this guy comes out, and he weighs about 350, except for his arms, his legs are really skinny, but he's got a gigantic
like
beer
Bluto?
gut.
So he's like a tick.
Like Bluto.
I mean, he's got this massive gut on him, and he's got no shirt on. So he's naked from
Naturally.
the waist up. He's got no shirt. His gut is out about 1.5 feet in front of his chest.
Wow.
It's huge, right?
It's impressive.
And he comes out, and he's got a drink in his right hand, and he's kind of bobbing his head in a drunken manner. And he looks over at the cop and says, "Come on, Troy, you know me."
Sounds like a small town in
Did
Wisconsin.
he hear him carrying him with that kind of voice?
Oh, yeah, that's how he kind of went, "Come on, you know me." Yeah, he did do that kind of deal. You're right. Oh, God, it was hilarious. No, Craig Gass he was on from 7 to 10, and he's just
Wow.
killing it the whole time. Well, I've known him for 20 years. I mean, he's
Just bring him on the show.
yeah, you can just bring him up. Man, what he was doing, and the first person he did it for didn't know he was on the show, so he started doing Christopher Walken.
No.
The person's
Oh,
like,
that's right. He does a great Christopher Walken.
Wait. And
Is he the one who did it for Walken?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
Walken's like, yeah, okay.
Could you imagine the number of times
Oh my
Christopher
God.
Walken
Oh,
gets
God.
Yeah.
an impersonation?
Yeah.
It's probably literally every day.
Here's exactly what he did. So Richard Belzer and Christopher Walken are having dinner, and here comes Craig Gass, and Belzer goes, Craig, come on over. Oh, you got to come over. So he comes over, and he says, Richard Belzer says to Walken, he goes, Christopher, you got to hear this. This guy can do an impression of you, and apparently I can do it for them visually here, but you, audio. He's got his knife and his fork, Christopher Walken. He goes, "You guy's going to do a great impression of you, Christopher." And Christopher Walken goes, just drops another one. Great, right?
I've never heard this before.
So he just nails the impression. Richard Belzer says he just nails the impression. It's just fantastic. And Christopher Walken, when he's done, Christopher Walken goes, "Wow."
Wow.
Great. What a story.
What is the end goal for some? Like, I'm gonna do an impression to your face of you. Like, okay, great. I'm gonna go back to.
Well, he didn't want to do it,
I'm
but
good.
Richard Belzer made him do it.
Well, that's the other thing is people don't really like. It's easier for us to hear if an impression is good than for Christopher Walken to
Yeah,
hear.
because he doesn't sound like that in his
Yeah,
head.
no, he sounds different
that's
in his
true.
head. And
That's
I'm
true.
guessing pretty much every actor who's ever been asked, "Do you watch your own movies?" They always say no.
They always do.
I'm sure he doesn't watch his own
You think
stuff.
so? I would assume that
I think they do.
a lot of them.
Almost none of them do.
Really,
Yeah.
I would assume that it's the other way around, where they're like Tom Cruise comes off as like a person
probably
that would
would.
watch his own
Yeah.
movies.
It's like
Yeah.
I
Brad,
feel like there's
Brad
some that
Pitt,
are like,
I feel like that's probably what he
Yeah.
does in his spare time.
Yep.
Like, just watches
Right.
these
He
movies.
sets them on a loop in his house.
Just always
It's
on.
crazy. You can listen to the podcast later, and everybody will sound just like they do, except for you.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
no.
just like, I don't sound like that, but
Yep.
everybody else sounds the way they do.
I know.
You know?
Oh, yeah. I suppose that is true.
No,
But
you
anyway.
sound. I wonder. I wonder if you sound different to yourself.
You'd never know.
Well, I have 3 different tones in my voice, so yeah, I bet I do.
I was going to say,
Three?
you can change
Yeah,
the way.
I have a high, mid-range, and a low range in my voice,
Well, and
which
his-
I don't even know why.
Well, your like commercial voice is different than your regular
Yes.
voice.
Well, it's because I don't project.
Yeah.
Like when I get up at 2:30, this is the voice you get right here. This is the voice
Grandma!
you get. Hey, Grandma. I sound just like Toots.
Like grandma.
I sound just
Sound
like
like you've
Toots
been hitting the
today.
heaters.
But if I get
Wow.
sleep, that's when I get this kind of. If I get any sleep, I talk like this. It's weird. And then other people say, "Man, you got kind of a high voice for a radio guy." I'm like, okay, because they can only hear that one part.
Yeah.
I guess that's just the way. Oh, Jesus, we got to get moving here, man. I can't believe that first section is over. Karen Knotts, I hope she feels better. I really wanted to talk to her because I now have missed her twice.
Oh yeah.
Because I missed, I was not on the KQ Morning Show because
Maybe it's you.
I was gonna say she's avoiding you.
Yeah.
Sounds personal. Okay, that's just, and that's, if you want to know what you sound like, that's it.
Okay, we got 20 seconds. I want to ask everybody.
20 seconds.
In 20
I'll tell you guys a
seconds.
story. Okay, but so Ken Burns was on today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Ken Burns. Oh, I love that guy.
What was he talking about today?
Muhammad Ali. He's got a new documentary.
Oh, that's right. It's supposed to be fabulous.
Wow.
And I
It's
said something to him.
It's only 8 years long.
Yeah, it's 8 years long, exactly. But he was so kind this morning. I said, Ken, let me ask you a question because, he's done a lot of great films about a lot of different people. And I said, they like to talk about this whole, honky racist deal and, oh, my God, white people are racist. But in my personal life, you take Muhammad Ali, Jimi Hendrix, Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, keep going on the list. Don't take that away from me. I love those people. So all your accusations about racism, of white people toward black, are you trying to take my happiness away from me? Because those people made me very happy. Why would you do that? Right?
I don't understand the question.
No idea what you're talking about.
You don't understand the
What do
question?
you mean?
No, I mean, you can't say that all white people are racist and understand the love I have for those people.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm
Got
saying.
it, got it, got it.
Ken Burns isn't saying that everybody's racist.
No. He jumped because he was accused. They almost tried to cancel him,
Of course they did.
And he's done all these documentaries about all kinds of people. So I don't.
That's because of his crew.
His crew doesn't have.
But he's been using the same crew for like 20 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they've
So
been
they're
working
all
together
old white
forever.
guys. Yeah.
They're the same guys.
Right.
It's just that's.
But I mean, you understand my point, don't you? It's like to this day, I miss Jimi Hendrix being alive. To this day, Marvin Gaye, his father killed him. I mean, I have great enjoyment, great joy from knowing who those people are and watching their careers develop. And don't take that away from me.
But
it's
it's the
not
same
fair.
thing for you, though. You don't like them because they're black. You like them because they're
No,
what
it's
they
the
are.
only reason I like them because they're black.
No, but that's the different way you look at it than a bunch of people look at it one way or the other.
I
They look at it
suppose.
black and white.
I
The only
don't
thing
care.
I wonder with Ali, I was listening to a couple of his speeches about Vietnam, and I wonder how they would hit today.
Probably not great.
No, I think
Probably not
I think it'd be a different world. And I do know that there were people that hated him because of things that he said about Vietnam.
The greatest quote in history to Dick Cavett, though, Muhammad Ali, right after the Ken Norton. Wasn't Ken Norton. It was.
Yeah, Ken Norton.
It was Ken Norton. Okay. So Ken Norton broke his jaw. Norton. And he's on the Dick Cavett, and Dick Cavett's trying to be all suave on there, and look how hip I am. He goes, boy, I got to be honest with you, Muhammad. If he had hit me that hard, I probably would still be knocked out. And Ali goes, if he hit you that hard, your beneficiaries will still be collected. He would have killed you, pal. What a great... Oh, God, we got to take a break. We will be back with the family. Tom here, and I'm talking with Brad Huckle and Mike Bilski of North American Banking Company. We've talked before about how working with a community bank like North American Banking Company can benefit business owners. Do you have an example you could share with our listener?
Our customers at Homeco Insulation in Blaine have been banking with a big bank for many years, but suddenly their calls weren't getting returned and their banker was unresponsive to their business needs.
You can imagine their frustration. They had a successful business, wanted to expand, and their bank cut them off.
They were ready to move on from their big bank. When they were referred to us, we knew they wanted to work with a community bank that would be responsive and would take the time to understand their business and its needs.
That sounds like a perfect fit. I know it can always reach out and not only talk to an actual person, but I'm talking to an experienced lender.
They've told us the same thing, Tommy.
Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. My whole family does. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Listen up, drivers. Are you doing the same thing every day, driving the same hours, making the same money? Well, stop and listen. Priority Courier Experts has a wide range of driving opportunities available right now. So if you're a professional driver or determined to become one, we can show you the benefits of partnering with Priority. Hey, Forrest, can you tell the good drivers of the Twin Cities which vehicles Priority has available in their lease-to-own program?
Well, I'd really like my friend Bubba to help me with this. Forrest, we have dock trucks, tractor-trailer trucks, flatbed trucks, curtain side dock trucks, flatbed Moffett trucks, Ford Transit and Transit Connect Vans trucks. Hey, Forrest, shouldn't we have a shrimp truck? Bubba? I think you're onto something there.
There you have it. Every kind of vehicle you could imagine, all doing same-day deliveries in town. Call Priority right now and we'll get you on the road. Priority Courier Experts. Every time you call us, we deliver.
Never seen you looking so bad, my funky one.
My funky one.
Andy, Alex, if you're looking to buy a new house, if you're going to move anytime soon, luckily the castle-like Isles Tudor built for the cream of wheat families on the market.
Where's that?
For a mere
$3.7 million.
great.
Well, we have been in this house for
Over on the
1 month.
lake.
So it's time to move on.
Cream of wheat.
You guys should move.
Andy used to love cream of wheat.
Holy
I still like
Christ,
Lake of
this
the
thing is
Isles?
huge.
I'm more of
malto meal. I
I'll
like
say
more.
I'm more of a malto meal girl.
But where is it? 100%.
They used to make me
You
make
can
it
keep
with
your
the
cream of
lumps.
wheat.
They wanted the lumps in
Oh,
it.
the lumps
Yes.
are good.
They
Yeah,
didn't,
the
yep,
pellets.
The
didn't
little
want me
bombs
to, yeah,
of
no,
stuff in them.
didn't want to stir
Oh.
it too much.
Don't stir it too much.
Oh, it's the house that
Want
I
the
always
lumps.
loved. It's running right there on 26th and East Lake. In East, 26th and East Lake of the Isles.
Oh, okay.
It's the big. It looks like a castle.
Is it the one with the statue in the yard?
I don't know.
There's one house just 'cause it's by the dog park that I always go to that has this just giant statue. in
Aren't
its
you a
yard.
member of the cream of wheat family?
No, malto meal.
Malto. I knew it was one of those.
My name is
That's down
Malto
in
Meal.
Isn't it the same people?
Ames? Or no?
Probably. I don't know. One's like I'm
Seems
talking
like the
about
same
chocolate
thing,
Yeah,
only
yeah,
with
Oh,
chocolate.
chocolate.
That's somewhere in Iowa,
absolutely.
isn't it?
Absolutely.
I don't
Malto meal?
I have no
one.
idea.
I don't
Yeah.
I had malto meal for the first time in forever when I was pregnant with Sage because I was
delicious.
like, could I eat it?
It
'Cause
tastes
I
like
couldn't eat
iron.
anything. It tastes.
It does taste like
very
iron.
iron fortified.
It's very iron. If you're
I was
low
like,
on
oh
iron,
my God.
eat your cream of
Honestly,
wheat.
yeah.
I was like, this
This
wasn't
is
as good as I remember.
Oh, there's a lot of things that don't
Yeah.
age well from
Well, that's
childhood.
because we used to pour cream and butter and put
Yeah.
brown sugar
Brown
on it.
sugar.
Right.
Yeah,
Also,
once
yeah,
I
you
put
have
brown
to
sugar in it,
get
it was
all the
great.
sugar in the world.
Brown
I can still
sugar makes
happily
everything
eat
taste good.
just a bowl of cream of wheat, undoctored.
With lumps.
Tasty.
With lumps.
Lumps.
Yeah, this is the very house when I was a little
Thick.
boy. You would go by this house to get to the Lake of the Isles, and I said someday I'm going to live in a house just like that. Which I didn't.
I mean,
But,
it's for sale. You can purchase it.
3.7 million. So that's what a lot of guys might.
I don't want one of those
change.
old
Somebody
castles
you.
on the Lake of the Isles. No,
Yeah, it
thank
sounds
you.
like
Not
a pain
anymore.
in
Can you
the-
imagine the taxes?
Yeah.
100,000 a
And
year,
just like
probably.
upkeep
Oh no,
or
no,
something
no!
like
That's
that?
more
Ugh.
like
Well, let's see.
250,000.
I wonder how big
doing
it
that.
is. Probably a little big.
Not giving anybody that
Well, I
kind of
told
money
you,
to live in a house.
My buddy, I won't say who it is because you know him,
His buddy.
but he sold his house on
Lake Minnetonka.
Mm-hmm. His property taxes were $1,000 a day.
I'm not
No,
living
thanks.
there.
$365,000 a year.
Thank you.
That's just a giant
$365,000
gift to the government every single day.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
no reason
Cream of
to
Wheat
pay
house
that
is
kind of money.
8,800 square feet. 9 beds, 6 baths.
Oh.
You got a bath.
You could have like
Every
5
day.
generations of people live there simultaneously.
Well, there you go. They could condo that up.
Yeah.
It's
So
more
when we
affordable
moving
housing
in,
right there.
They could condo it up.
Probably will.
Hey.
Yeah, that is
Yeah, because
true.
who's gonna buy that? Like who? That's a
Someone
very
will buy it,
specific.
Especially in Minneapolis.
Some
Local
Yeah.
celebrity Tom Bernard.
Yeah, because this is not very far from some of the troubles, as the Irish
Well,
would say.
troubles.
No, it's not.
No matter where you are.
3.7 million for a house around in that area really isn't all that crazy.
Yeah.
No,
No, I was gonna say that's
Especially-
actually
especially on
not.
Lake of the
that-
Isles.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would have said more like
They've got to
5.
wreck that lake, though. It's kind of reedy and
Yeah, it's
gross,
not great.
and it's
The Lake
not
of the
nice
Isles
like
is-
it used to be.
It used to be beautiful.
Yeah,
No.
not very nice.
It's not that great.
What's that church across the street from this house? There's a church over there. I can't remember what it was. It's an Episcopal church.
I don't know.
Oh no, wait, that's.
But
the
that was a
museum.
dream
The
come true.
Boston
When I was a
Museum.
little kid, man, when you walked around Lake of the Isles, it's like that's where all the rich people live. Because I
Yeah.
didn't know anything about Minnetonka. I'd never even been anywhere near Minnetonka when I was a kid. So that was like, whoa, man, look at all these rich people living here.
I remember we looked at a house at Lake of the Isles before we built the Golden Valley house, and it had a bunch of like secret doors.
Yeah.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
the one where it's like once you went into the basement, you couldn't figure out how the
Yeah,
hell
it was
to
like
get
a
backward?
labyrinth.
You
It
have
was
to, like,
so
pull,
weird.
like, a book from the
yeah, it
bookcase.
was like, what is going on?
It was
Why was it
seriously-
built like
you had
this?
to you had to solve a riddle to get
Yeah.
upstairs.
Very weird. And
was
I
like
was like,
someone-
we need to live here.
I was gonna say, Sold.
Yeah, why didn't we buy that house? It
Because
was a
you
good
decided that since you couldn't, I don't know, there was you couldn't gate everything. You couldn't have
That's
it.
right.
You
you
couldn't do a
put
moat.
gate and a 10-foot fence.
They wouldn't
around
allow the
everything.
Dobermans or the snipers. I don't know.
Snipers on
There's
the
no
roof.
alligators
Yeah.
in the.
There were like
in the
3
alligator
entrances
house.
into the basement.
Yeah, it was the
And each of them
weirdest-
went to a different area of the house, so it's
Yeah,
not like
they
you could
did.
like go in one and up the other and then loop back around.
Yeah.
It was so weirdly designed.
It was very
Plus, the
strange.
basement ceiling was about 7.5 feet. That was about it.
Yeah, it was
Could have
really
bought
weird.
that house and then been like, oh, we had 3 kids at one point.
Yeah.
What the hell happened to
We
the other
lost,
one?
but it someplace.
There's just one that comes with this. Comes with the house as you sell it.
We
You
throw
think people
food
will-
down the stairs
You
sometimes.
think people will stop? Well, because obviously
Put a
this is
ball-
a situation.
Bowl of
What do you think?
Maltodale.
What do you think pollutes more, a gasoline car or this house?
Probably this house.
That
The
house,
house.
definitely.
So when are people going to get away from living in houses like this?
Never.
Oh,
You don't
are you
think so?
kidding me?
Never.
The city planning in a lot of metropolitan areas are too. I mean, California just got rid of their single family zoning.
Yeah, they did.
Minneapolis has gotten rid of it.
Yep.
People are just going to move out to the suburbs and build mansions there.
Well, that's true. They will do that.
The cities will just be one big block of apartments,
Yeah.
and then everyone else is
the
going to live
vision,
elsewhere.
the vision with the Green New Deal is that everybody lives in an apartment
Yep.
with, gardens all over it for
Right, to make it
whatever
look,
reason.
Yeah, eco-friendly.
For whatever reason, people
There's some
have
reason.
plans.
Yeah, if
I
you
don't know.
you can look it up. You can look up what the vision is for the future.
'cause you
Nobody
can't-
will have a car. Everything's going to be very you're going to be very regimented in what you can live in a city.
So it's like
You
so
can't really drive a
Russia.
Tesla and live in that house. A little
Why?
because it's a little disingenuous.
But
You're
it
so worried
looks
about
better. The optics are better if you
Yeah, well,
drive
there
a
you go.
Tesla.
And also, I don't think people drive Teslas because of their eco-friendliness.
don't.
they drive them
No.
because they're like, oh, this is like the rich car
Yeah.
to have.
It's the Mercedes-Benz
Yeah.
of the electric car.
Right.
world.
It drives
Yeah.
itself.
Right.
You know?
Well, mine, it was fun for a while.
Until
Yep.
it locked you in.
It did. No,
Never
it,
did
it
that.
never did, but it could have.
I
It was
thought it
also
did.
ridiculous.
No, it never locked up. No.
They're like a spaceship. I have a friend that has a Tesla, and it like the
Yeah.
doors like open up to the
Right.
side.
Oh,
like,
really?
Like I'm like, you're living in the future.
They're so
You're
The
living
gull wing doors
Must
or whatever.
be, yeah. I was like, must be
DeLorean.
nice.
The
The
DeLorean, yeah.
NFL
The
pays well.
DeLorean.
Yeah.
drug dealing DeLorean.
Yeah.
Was he actually a drug dealer?
Oh.
I'm sure.
Did they
Who,
ever
the
prove
guy that
he
made the
was?
DeLorean?
I don't think
Yeah.
they've proven it.
They haven't. I
Say,
didn't think so.
Well, I
Doc?
thought he went to prison, didn't he?
Did he?
Remember
you said
the
prison.
story of the DeLorean.
Thank you.
That would make a good
Somebody
docu
heard. I was
series.
like, that was
Make a
funny.
what?
It was a money deal, I thought, that put him in.
That would make a great docu series. The whole DeLorean thing.
Oh God, yes, I'd
It
watch.
runs
I'd
on
watch.
banana peels.
I think it was the first person that tried to do an independent auto, right? Didn't
Probably one of them.
Well, one of them. I mean, way back in
Yeah.
the
I
day.
mean, unless
Yeah.
you count like Ford,
Yeah.
the first car.
Yeah,
on
but it
the
was
road.
really hard to go up
The most
against
successful
those
independent-
auto
Yeah.
makers back then, and then it got its fame from Back to the Future, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
And then it was
ran on
the cool
garbage.
car, and then all of a sudden it was
Just
like
disappeared.
it was there was
Yeah.
all kinds of
Well, he
scandals.
was charged
and-
with cocaine trafficking. They did find him not guilty, but he ended up bankrupt,
Right.
and it never recovered from there.
I would say, yeah, you don't charge somebody without having at least some substantial.
Oh,
evidence.
now listen to you.
Oh!
You think you'd know better?
When's the last time you guys got charged with cocaine
Well,
trafficking?
the worst thing is when they charged him,
I don't
he
do
was already in
cocaine.
debt for $17 million.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
my
right.
Because of DeLorean or high living.
I think it was the DeLorean. It did not do well.
Oh,
It never did well.
did it have a bad safety record too? Wasn't there something about safety
Start on
records or
fire
something?
or something.
Something
Like how
weird.
cars.
I just remember
cars
it just was
recall.
like we always thought it was so cool, and then it was like DeLorean suck. He's a terrible person.
Well, I think if the flux capacitor ruptured,
The
then
flux
Yeah.
capacitor.
you ended up being bathed in tachyons,
Yeah.
and then, it's not good for
Then
me.
you're
Bathed
screwed.
in tachyons.
I remember I bet on a Kentucky Derby horse because its name was Flux Capacitor.
Flux.
That's honestly the only reason to bet on horses is like
It's
their
the
name.
name. Yes, absolutely. Well, that was like the best part of. I used to show horses. I did jumping and like
names, yeah.
do it, finding their show names
The
because
show
it's like you
names.
could come up with just like the weirdest crap. Except for if you bought a horse that was already a registered show horse, you got their show name. So I had one a horse named Ralph Lauren. I was like,
Oh, well.
Last Derby, I'd spent all this time, I hadn't figured out which horse, whole thing, had the whole lineup set, everything. Beth walks in, looks, she goes, I think Medina Spirit's going to win. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? Really? And it won, and it was, So she was in on the injections, but,
Catherine.
What?
Don't vomit. I got to show you something.
Okay.
don't
You could
vomit.
vomit.
I've got to
I
show
feel a
you
little
something.
vomity today.
Do you have your
Sitting
vomit
here.
helmet?
I was sitting here this morning.
Not helmet.
You said
Mask.
Mask. Oh, sorry. Well, that's better.
Helmet makes no sense.
It could be a whole
It's like a
thing.
feed bag for a horse, except
we'll just stay out of that one.
So I was sitting here this morning, and I just kind of was messing around. Tore it right off.
Oh!
Your whole thumbnail?
No.
Wait, what?
Remember how black my thumbnail was?
Yeah.
From the end? I tore it off.
It
this
actually
morning.
looks better now.
Your entire thumbnail.
It looks better.
Oh,
No,
I see.
just
Like
the,
indent,
just the
yeah.
piece
You see where
that
that
was
deal is?
broken.
Yeah, like, and you're talking about like by the little the base.
Is that down to the
Your
skin?
cuticle. Yeah.
What,
Is there
honey?
any
there's
any
a nail
nail
there.
under there?
There's a
Okay.
nail under
All right.
there.
I was
That's
going
how
to say.
it tends to happen. Is the
Just-
top half kind of sloughs
Okay.
off.
I was going to say, because otherwise you should keep a
Did you,
Band-Aid on there.
Slam it in a car door?
No, I was winding it. We have a clock that was made the year my grandmother was born in 1888.
Okay.
So I was winding
old.
it, and when that coil snaps, boy, that kicks that key
Oh,
back.
okay.
Yeah.
Boom! This entire nail was blasted.
No.
I
You
mean,
didn't
just
puncture the
hammered.
nail, so you got a whole bunch of blood in there.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
I mean, when have we all not injured ourselves winding our
Yeah.
clocks?
The coil
I
on the
mean,
clock gets me every time.
classic.
Minnie's
It's
clock.
a problem
leave me
from
alone.
yesteryear.
God,
I
I
was
hate
Also,
it
you
when
don't
that
have somebody that
happens.
just winds clocks for you?
No, we don't.
You get away from
This is
me.
a Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace actually has.
Catherine, where's the clock winder?
the clock winder.
He's late.
Buckingham Palace actually has a clock winder.
They do.
Sure. They do.
Well, they have a lot of clocks.
They also
don't
have those guys in the red
Zillions of
suits
clocks.
that just stand there and keep a straight face.
The guards.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are they called again?
I don't know.
But the Buckingham Palace Guards, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're
they
just
were-
called guards.
I thought they were
The
called
beefeaters?
Yeah, isn't that the
Oh, yeah.
Those
beefeaters?
are the guys with the
Beefeaters.
The big hat.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
All
Right,
three of you went.
You know that.
Hat.
You do.
It's a huge hat.
If we didn't do this, you wouldn't have known what we were talking
Now they're doing it again.
It's probably true.
This is a hat. This is a hat. This is a hat. Yeah, I got it. Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah. The big furry hat.
I want to mention, even though it did not do well in the movie theaters at all, because only superhero movies do well in theaters now, Catherine and Andy and Melissa and I watched Cry Macho last night.
Oh, yeah.
It's really
Cry
good.
macho.
It's a Clint
Eastwood
It's a
being
typical
old.
Clint Eastwood.
It's
Okay.
really
So their
very
name
typical.
sounds
Is the
terrible.
world as bad as they make it out in that movie, though?
Well, they don't make the world out to be bad.
But no, I mean, like the car, they go down in the ditch so he can get sick, and suddenly guys come up and steal the car.
Well, it's Mexico.
No, he didn't go down to the ditch to get sick. He was run off the road.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about when he was eating the cactus because of the
Oh,
water.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause he was going to have diarrhea.
Right. And I was being nicer to myself, but then the car gets stolen when that happens. It's like I hope the world isn't as bad as that.
No, but it's the
movie makes
guy
it.
that stole the car.
No, it's
No,
just two
these
guys.
were just
two guys.
banditos.
Just two
Oh, they were
banditos.
just the banditos.
What?
Just two
It's an alternate
banditos.
universe, but also it feels
Oh, I was thinking the
very
guy in the
similar to
Mercedes
what
that
real life is.
that was slamming
No, but it's
into
a
him.
good movie.
I thought it was
and I
really
thought
good.
the ending was really cool. You know, I thought that was a really nice ending.
Yeah, the ending was
Oh, the
beautiful.
ending. I thought you said Indian.
I
I'm
was
like,
going to
what?
say Indian, and I was like, you
No,
know,
it was
really,
good.
it's
It
not
was
really
good.
canceled.
Ian was
The
really
Indian was cool. Okay, we don't say that.
I
on
liked his
the
bow and
radio.
arrow.
There was no
Why
idea.
did she want to have sex with him?
Why did she?
The
Yeah,
Indian?
what is
Everybody
It's
wanted to
Clint
have sex
Eastwood.
with him.
Because he's Clint
I need to
Eastwood.
go
That's
home.
how those movies are.
He's Clint Eastwood. He's got to maintain his sex appeal.
Yeah, but
It's like 90 years old.
I know.
That
I know.
made no sense though. that
We
she
were
suddenly-
making comments about that the entire
Well,
movie.
I think the idea is that she is crazy.
Who's she?
Some
No,
crazy
the
they were-
mom, the mom of the kid
She's
that he's
very
taken
sweet.
back. Yeah.
She was the
we're
kid's
ta-
mom.
Oh, the kid's mom.
one
She
that-
was
no,
nuts.
I'm not talking about the woman in the cantina. I understand that.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
she's
talking
old.
about the crazy mom
'Cause she's
who's
crazy.
suddenly like,
Oh,
hey, let's
yeah.
have sex right now on the bed. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And he's
She
like,
was a
I don't think so.
She's
She's
crazy.
a little psycho. Just a little psycho.
I need to
Bizarre.
go watch this
She was
movie.
letting her
I don't even
boyfriend
know
beat up her son.
if I can handle this movie.
I got that.
I
She's
can't
a
get it
bad
out of my
lady.
head. The Indian. Let me tell you something,
The Indian
Buster.
was
The
good.
Indian was good.
Let me tell you what's going to go in the Old West.
What do you...
Really? Okay.
Oh my God.
Have they ever made a movie where it's a guy from India and a Native American? It's like a buddy comedy.
They should.
And
A
the
buddy
whole
comedy.
The Odd Couple.
is that they're both Indians.
A not odd couple. You can call it. That would be pretty good.
And
You
yeah,
should
the
write
whole-
that. Write that movie.
There you go.
But then the Indian would have to be a real Indian now. Before it used to be Italians and
That's true.
They used to use
Oh, it's
all
all
Italians.
Jews and
Jews
Italians.
and Italians.
I think
you know?
every Indian or Native American, but they were called Indians in the show on F Troop.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah.
I think they were all Jews.
Yeah.
Every one of them was a Jew.
Well, it's because a lot of Indian cultures are were anti-camera at the time.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
it's true.
So there is that. And it's
Oh,
like, you know,
that's
what-
right. Yeah.
how do you
Forgot about that.
portray an Indian if none of them want to be on camera?
I remember when somebody told me that when I was a kid. They're like, oh, Native Americans think that if you take your pictures taken, it takes your soul. And then at first I was like, haha, and then I was like, does it?
My
You
guess.
never know.
Maybe
like,
that's what's happened to
that-
society.
Should I be afraid?
The first time you see a picture of yourself, you go, "Well, how did I get on that
Yeah.
piece of paper?" That had to be a little scary
Yeah.
at first, I would imagine.
Really? Why?
Because there you are. It had never happened before, but there you are all of a
If
sudden
you've
on a
never
piece of paper.
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Never.
the first photograph that was ever
I don't
taken.
know. I just
Probably.
never had a problem with it, but
Well, you
Well,
didn't
it's
grow up
from
in the
2021.
1800s.
Right.
That
No, but
might
he's saying
be why.
like
A little different.
at the birth of photography. Like it's got to be a weird to see yourself.
Yeah. I would think
Well,
so.
there are
Or
surviving.
to hear yourself on a phone.
There's
Yeah.
surviving footage of like New York City in like 1910 or something. And yeah, it's just like some guy sets up a camera and starts recording the street, and everyone who walks by, they're like, "What is this magic box pointing at me? What are you doing with it?" Because
Because it was hurt on them. Yeah.
you didn't just like see cameras literally. There's how many cameras in this room right now? Like 8.
Yeah.
Every
Whereas
phone.
before that, it
Well-
was if you saw a camera once every 10 years, you were lucky.
One back when taking your pictures, like you have to sit still for 45
yeah,
hours.
you couldn't move.
Well,
School
yeah,
pictures,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, and that
tilt
thing
your
with
head
the
to the right.
gunpowder in it or whatever it was,
yeah.
flash
With
powder.
the
Yeah.
Well, it was magnesium, I think, because magnesium burns very bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's magnesium powder.
yes, okay.
But it also burns very hot.
Not gunpowder? Weird.
Not
Well,
gunpowder,
something.
no.
It's
Some
this-
sort of
Might
something.
as well be
You
this.
got-
Nitroglycerin.
You got the gist.
Yeah.
I just love our politicians in America.
Why
Oh my
do
God.
you?
Lord
You
almighty.
bad people.
just ever always bring it back.
No, you're going to want to hear this one. You know who London Breed is?
We're having a good time.
Yes.
London
Mayor of
Breed is the
somewhere?
mayor of San Francisco, yeah. The mayor of San Francisco. Apparently had a party and was dancing up a storm, no mask. Told everybody else they had to wear a mask, but she wasn't wearing a mask. You know why she wasn't wearing a mask? You have to understand, I was feeling the spirit. Oh, really?
Does that even-
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
that is my excuse for
Yeah.
everything from now on.
I
Sorry,
get
feeling the
it.
spirit.
I
Sorry,
get
I'm
it.
feeling the spirit.
I'm feeling the spirit.
The
Leave me
spirit
alone.
moved me.
I'm not drunk driving. I'm feeling the spirit.
Speaking of London,
Yes.
we can go back to the Beefeaters for one moment.
Yes.
The official name of the Beefeaters? The Yeoman Warders of Her Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortress the Tower of London and members of the Sovereign's Bodyguard of the Yeoman Guard Extraordinary.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
Beefeater's
definitely need to
easier.
shorten
I
that
was
name.
about to
Beefeaters
say
is
that.
a little easier,
So
I
name.
would say.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why are they called beef eaters?
Because they eat beef.
Yeah.
Because they're
Big hamburger fan.
Because
Yes,
they
that's
drank
a good-
gin.
Believe.
That's
That's
Gin and
why.
hamburgers.
No, it's
is
because
all
they got to
they
eat
eat.
beef.
It is
That's
because
why.
they got to eat beef.
Yes.
You know, English peasants in the 17th century didn't do a lot of eating beef, so.
Oh my God, I am reading this book to Fawn. It's about like
English peasants?
important women in history, and Elizabeth I, we read about her last night. She was one weird lady.
Not a nice lady.
So
Oh, yeah.
weird.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe because she put lead on her face
Yeah.
literally every day.
That'll do it.
She has
the,
she had makeup made out
So
of
what
like
books are you
lead, egg
reading
whites.
Yeah.
Oh, there are so many parts that I have to like skip over because it'll be like this one like a princess in Africa is said to have killed her cousin and eaten his heart and stuff like that. And I was like, she
how else
got
are you
in
gonna
a
steal
fight with
someone's
her
courage?
cousin and move on. Like, I have to edit.
Why
a lot of
not
people had their
just-
like brother murdered so they could like get
Oh yeah.
to the
How old is
throne.
Vaughn again?
Who has
She's
done
five.
that?
She might as well
Green
just
eggs and
accept
ham.
the realities of the world.
Well, if you look back at basically any culture, and not even that far, like maybe even 2 generations back, all of them ingested a lot of poison without knowing it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was
that's
always
true.
like arsenic in everything, lead in everything,
Yeah,
asbestos
asbestos.
everywhere.
Yeah.
If
It
you
makes
were a
you
loved
wonder
one
what
has
we're
been-
ingesting right now that two generations that are going to be like, what a bunch of morons.
I have a lawyer
From-
question.
from McDonald's.
Probably,
That's the
honestly.
same theory. That's
I
the
have-
exact same theory.
I have a lawyer question.
Uh-oh.
So,
We
with
may-
May I
Roundup,
be entitled to a cash settlement?
with Roundup
With Roundup. Yeah.
having to pay
Okay.
for all their cancers and all that stuff, or what non-Hodgkin,
Non-Hodgkin
something,
lymphoma?
that
Yeah,
one, yeah.
Hodgkin's lymphoma.
That was directly linked. Why is it? How is it still on the market?
That's a big question.
They took the
that-
Hodgkin's lymphoma
yeah, that-
out of the.
No more
This wasn't supposed
lymphoma.
to
Back
be
on
out
the
there.
that is one of those big questions out there, and a lot of the people that are really involved in that litigation, that's a question they have out is why is this still available?
Well, I have a feeling it's like as long as there's a warning label, it's like, buyer beware kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if a farmer is spraying his fields with that stuff, and you get drift next door, and you
Yep.
didn't even buy it, and yet you come down with lymphoma. Oh my God, my nose is running. Can I have a tissue? My allergies are so bad today.
Yeah, mine are not
Anyway, and then paraquat, that's a thing, right?
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
That is now linked to Parkinson's.
Correct.
Still on the
Yeah.
market.
What is Paraguay?
It's another herbicide.
Oh, another. Okay.
Paraquat.
Well, I mean, it's literally designed to kill everything it touches. You should probably be careful around it.
Yeah.
We need to take a break because Kostaki's coming up.
It's halftime.
I got to ask you guys a question because I've been looking for it and I don't see anything. Somebody told me this morning they found that young woman.
Yeah,
they found
They
her.
did find
Yeah.
her.
What young?
And now
Not
they're
even
looking
it's
for.
not in the news.
What young
Because
woman?
I think the FBI's still been really vague about
they
stuff
have.
going on.
Okay.
There was a woman that disappeared in Wyoming, and her boyfriend is at large.
Yeah.
Police halt search for Brian Laundrie in Preserve, so they aren't looking for him
Yeah,
anymore.
they're from Florida. They went hiking in Wyoming,
Grand
and she's
Teton,
just
yeah.
missing.
They
Yeah,
were
right
hiking
where we
exact
were.
where we were is where they were.
Oh, it'd be pretty easy to.
Oh God, Gabby
Out there.
Petito's dad just
So
reacted.
Because I saw a couple clips that would push Tom
That's
off.
all right. You can just talk over me.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
I will.
Okay. Anyway, so we good to go?
So is it halftime?
I think
It
so.
is halftime.
It is.
We'll be back.